Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today we're looking at, it is March 11th, 2021, and this is episode 228. Today we're looking at Chasing the Dragon. This is issue number 1. It came in at a whopping $3.99 for 21 pages of content. This is part of Heavy Metal's Magma Comics series. Now, let's take a quick look at who worked on this book. I believe it's right in here. Stories by Denton J. Tipton. The art is by Mentos 3. Lettering and design is by Gilberto Lascano. And cover art is by Menton 3. Okay. And then we do have one variant cover, and we'll take a look at that later. But let's look at this cover real quick. Chasing the Dragon. The reason I picked this up came out a couple weeks ago. I picked it up yesterday. I thought that someone had mentioned that it was a lot like Game of Thrones, and it's got a couple elements in it that are kind of like it, but not quite. We have this dragon queen, or she's the mistress of the concubines. They call her the Duchess. We have the two here, which I believe are going to be twins. She's got red eyes, she's got blue eyes. But it's not clear in here. This is one thing about this story is you have to put some pieces together yourself. I read it a couple times. I read some pages like 3 or 4 times trying to figure things out. And it's deep into alchemy. So with that, let's get into it, okay? We start out 20 years in the future of the ancient times, but it's 20 years earlier. The mother of these two, I believe she's the mother of both of these adults there, but they're not born yet. She is pregnant, and she is mixing some kind of formulas with this gentleman here, who I don't know. He just seems like maybe he's some kind of alchemist himself. They're waiting for her husband Bruno to come back with the final potion. As you can see, they're heating up a pan there, and he comes back. And he delivers what are a couple vials of some special dust, but he also gives the news that he was followed, that he thinks somebody tipped them off. And in the meantime, she quickly kind of smokes this stuff, sucks it in. I don't know what it is. They really don't tell you, so you kind of have to figure stuff out by yourself. And then he says, I believe her name is Albedo, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this guy's name is. But the guards burst in and sock Bruno, stab this other guy that was helping, I believe is an alchemist. And in time, they just say she's unarmed, and she puts in that I'm pregnant. So to me, that meant she was pregnant twice. Maybe I'm stretching it a little bit there. And this one person just says deplorable. So getting into it now, we're the present time for this story, and we have the male here, the long-haired male, which I think is he's kind of a slave, and he's never left this laboratory. He is becoming an alchemist. He's being trained by Hermes, and this is what I like when they do this art like this. It's just stunning to me. It's just beautifully gorgeous. Just the detail on it. But these other times when it's more fuzzy, it's hard to really tell what's going on. He's actually visited by his friend Jamin, who says, be wary of Hermes, and then Hermes shows up. So these are two separate guys. And Andre is this guy. He tells Jamin to leave, and then he talks to Hermes a little bit. Later on, Andre and Jamin meet up again, and they talk a little bit. And there's some kids playing in the background, and they tell him the story. They asked him to tell him, Andre to tell him the story. So he talks this story about this transition or tapestry. Very interesting tapestry, I might add. The story's a little bit incomplete, so you kind of have to go with it. But what's needed transitions to the tapestry on the wall in the Castle Black. I think they call it the Obsidian Palace or something like that. And here we see the woman now, the female, who has been working at a brothel. So one's a slave, one's been working at a brothel. The Duchess comes up, and she just says, you can see her green eyes there. You know, you've been kind of brought in to, I guess he's going to have to do something with the king or someone in charge of the castle. I don't believe she's in charge, but she's also the dragon lady, as it turns out. And she's interested in dragon blood for whatever reason. She's trying to hide it, but she really can't. And she's shown another chamber with other women in it and a pool and a whole tub of this dragon blood. In the meantime, we have Hermes and Andre mixing again, I think, in some special lab, and they're going over the formula, how to stabilize dragon blood. And I'm not sure what dragon blood is actually used for. You can see she's got blue eyes, okay, here in this one. So he's got kind of greenish. The eyes, I think, have something to do with everything. Then we get one of these beautiful drawings again where it's highly detailed, and we can see Hermes with his golden eye and the Andre with his blue eye. Kind of really neat, kind of showing the transition between the knowledge going from one to the other. And suddenly, once again, guards break in, just like what happened to Andre's mother 20 years earlier, and they take them both off for questioning. Now you get to these kind of blurry drawings that were hard to see, hard to tell what's going on. But then you get this stunning one that's blurring, that's just awesome. Yeah, the art kind of goes back and forth, hard to see to just pinpoint detailed. And Duchess comes out of her, I believe, her dragon blood pool, and she's covered up. And she accuses Hermes of trying to sell secrets of like the dragon blood formulas and such to the highest bidder. And she says, "I caught your friend Matthias," and they're both like shocked, you know, like, why'd you kill him? Well, no, we didn't do anything. And so they feel like she's killed him in just because she suspected it. And so they kind of have this short argument, and you can see her eyes start to glow, and she transforms into this giant dragon. In the meantime, we have the brothel worker that's now working at the castle showing up for the first time. So what we see is just this huge dragon here. This is a little deceiving. It looks like there's almost two beasts here, but that's just the wing here. And then we have the dragon head facing off against Hermes, and Hermes just gets blown away. Meanwhile, this woman grabs Andre. I still don't know what her name is, and pulls him to safety as they look at Mount Brimstone. So this work is to be continued. And here's the copy, excuse me, the cover for issue 2. And here's the regular cover, and here's the variant cover for issue 1. So if this was a retailer incentive cover, so it wasn't anything that they could just order on their own. They'd have to order a certain number. All right, so that's what we got for there. Let's take a quick look at, there's a short preview for the modern Frankenstein, but it could almost be called the modern woke Frankenstein in this one. From the little blurb, I'll just kind of go through this quick. I won't read it off to you. Okay, and you can just soak that all in. And then we have Amber Blake, which I'm not quite sure what that is. It's coming out in March as well. I haven't seen that at the store. And there you go. Got a couple recommendations from F. Paul Wilson and Tim Seeley for Chasing the Dragon. Like I said, it is a recommend. Just be wary that it might be a little confusing, and you might have to put some pieces together on your own. I will be on issue 2 since it was only $3.99. It was a nice production, and I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the art, and especially in certain spots where it really took off and I think was phenomenal. So thanks for stopping by and listening to my review. As always, please please subscribe if you haven't, and please leave comments. And as always, I'll get back to you again if you come back to the Temple of Tomes. I got a few more. I bought a lot this week. more reviews to do. So this is Indie Comics Jones from the Temple Tomes, bidding you adieu.